Once you're through with all of that, you get a certificate of completion and one of those stupid ass little black hats that you see everybody wearing that you so much wanted until you got to that point, and then you finally got it and you're like, this is kind of gay.
I still taste your name on the back of my tongue. Cold room, low light, you make the dark feel young. You move like a bad idea, slow hands, heavy breath. Every time you pull me close, I forget what happens next. You keep looking at me like you want me to stay, then you disappear again before I can say your name. You touch me like you miss me.
What is up, guys? I am Daryl, and I am an independent contractor through Stevens Transport. So, I wanted to take some of this downtime to talk about the training program with you guys, and just tell y'all my experience and some of the things that went on with me, and also tell you guys about their program so that you can make an informed decision on what to expect next, week by week. Now, I will say that results may vary, so there are some things in here that you might get done sooner, you might get done later. So we'll start from the top. First, you have to apply. Once you apply, a recruiter is going to reach out to you, and they'll pretty much tell you all of this stuff that I'm about to tell you, but they're going to do a background check on you, and that background check is thorough. So if you're thinking about withholding some stuff, just don't, dude, because like if you do and then they run the even more thorough one later on and they find stuff you lied about, which they will, then you're only hurting yourself at that point. So just don't do that. Save yourself the headache. So once they do the background check and all of that, they're going to try to set you up a time frame to be in Dallas. For me, it was same week. They called me the same week I applied, and they wanted to get me out to Dallas the very next week. So yeah, you can do that, or you can schedule it later on. Whenever you get to Dallas, you are going to get to a hotel. You're going to be roomed with another person, so make sure you pick a roomie that you like, because that person is going to be the person that I would hope that you study with. Help them study, they help you study. Just makes it easier, makes it better, it makes the time go by a lot smoother. So whenever you get to the hotel, you are going to want to bring with you about $200 in cash, and that is for your CDL, and that is also for your physical. That pays for both of those. And I would also highly suggest that you bring $100 or $50. It depends on how much you want to live off of, but I brought $100 for the first week, and that covers you for food, cigarettes, gas, whatever when you're out there, because they're not going to pay you that first week. You will eventually start getting paid weekly, but they're not going to pay you for that week. Okay, so for me, I had gotten a bus. Now, I've heard that they've gotten people plane tickets. It doesn't really matter where you are in the country. They will get you here to Dallas. So trust the process. They do a urinalysis. I did not receive a hair follicle test. Nobody that I was in class with received a hair follicle test, so there's that information. You are going to be doing a physical that first week. So if there is any doubt in your mind that you will pass a physical exam, whether it be your body mass index or Sleep apnea is a big one that they don't play with. So if you even think that you have something like that that could get you denied, I would say if you have a primary care physician, go talk to them first. Don't waste your time and go out there and not know, because there were a couple of guys that got rejected for like high blood pressure or sleep apnea or being overweight. There are things that will reject you from the program. So don't waste your time. Just go in it with a clear head and just know what to expect. Whenever you get there, you will have, if you didn't drive there, you will have a shuttle that will take you to and from the hotel and the school, and like 2 or 3 times a week they'll take you to the Walmart so you can get groceries and all that. The first week, all you're really going to be doing is like filling out paperwork. You're going to be studying. You're going to be taking some practice tests, and you're going to have this, it's kind of about the size of this, like probably twice as thick. You're going to get a little booklet. I highly suggest that you look at the summaries in the back. Don't just read the whole thing. Read the whole thing and then read the summaries. That's at least what helped me. Like, I read the whole book back to front, memorized a lot of it, went to take the test, boom, and I failed the first one. And my buddy, he told me that he read the summaries. So I was like, okay, let me look at those, because I haven't looked at them. I studied and looked at those in between each test. Got 100 on 3 out of the 4 of them. So look at those summaries. They're going to help you. The 3 or the 4 tests that you're going to be taking is general knowledge, combination vehicles, special requirements, and air brakes. Once you pass all of those, you get your CDL permit, and then that allows you to move on to the next phase. Let's see if I missed anything. Okay, no. So that's the first week. Week 2 to 4 is like the start of week 2 is when, like, if you didn't come out there with money, they'll start giving you a check of like, I think it's like $70, which isn't much, but it'll help you get like food or whatever else you need whenever you're out there, if you come out there broke as a joke like I did. But just know that you are going to have to pay that back later on in the form of a promissory note. So you have your school that you're going to have to pay back, and then you have like a promissory note, all the extra stuff that they give to you. So just know, you don't have to accept it, but if you do, you got to pay it back. Oh, what I did forget to mention, the hotel that you stay at. So if you come out there broke as a joke, do understand that the hotel will provide you with a free breakfast. So if you come out there with like only the money for the physical and the CDL, you can still eat on the free. It's only going to be once a day, and you do have to get up for it. You have to get up early for it, but there's that. Weeks 2 to 4, you're mostly going to be out in the yard. This is where you're actually going to get hands-on in a truck. You're going to learn how to straight line back, parallel park. You're going to learn how to couple to a trailer and uncouple from a trailer. I believe one of them was a 45-degree back or a 90-degree back or something like that. So you're going to be doing a lot of that. You're going to have instructors out there helping you, making sure that you're successful. Your pre-trip study guide. That is one that I noticed that everybody pretty much picked up on everything else, but the pre-trip study guide, it's like 3 pages front to back. You have to memorize all of that. And the reason why is whenever you go to take your CDL test, there are keywords in there that they're looking for, that they're going to be crossing off on their list to make sure that you know this, to make sure that you have memorized it word for word. And I'm not going to lie, dude, it's a lot. It is a lot. There were times where I showed up with my buddies before school even started, just to study even more to make sure that I did not fail that. So just keep that in mind. You're also going to be doing some driving tests with an instructor out in the real world, out on the actual road. You're going to be doing some J.J. Keller videos. You will have to watch all of those all the way through. You can't skip through them. And then at the end, you have tests, and you have to pass with like, I think it was like a 70 or an 80 on each one of those tests. So, after weeks 2 to 4, after weeks 2 to 4, you sit down and you take your CDL test. And if you pass, you get your CDL. Now, you can, at that point, leave if you want to. You can leave and go to any other trucking company. And you can take your CDL with you. It is your CDL at that point. Just know that if you do that, you still owe them money. So keep that in mind. You could just not pay it, but that is going to probably tank your credit. And you're going to be screwed. And not just that, but in my opinion, I would think that if you did that, it might hurt your chances with some of the top tier companies that pay a lot. It might. I'm not saying that it will. It might. Because Stevens is a big company. They talk to a lot of people, I would presume. You know, this company at one point, I believe, made $910 million in a year. They don't do that by just keeping to themselves. So, you can do that, or you can continue on in the program. If you do, week 5 is going to be orientation week. So, you're going to be doing another driving test. Or no, not another driving test. My bad. That's CDL test. You're going to be signing up for healthcare. You're going to be doing more paperwork. You're going to be doing videos, like watching them in class. And you're going to be going out into the yard a couple of times. And I believe 2 of those days out of that week, you're going to be out there late. Like late. Like maybe 10 or 11, something like that. This point in time, this orientation week, is going to be your introduction, like you officially getting on with the company. So, the training, yes, you're kind of part of the company, but you're not like part of the company. You're case in point about the healthcare. You're signing up for healthcare event now in this week, so that should give you some indication. After orientation week, for me, weeks 6 to 10, so 4 weeks, I was doing my 240 over the road. So that is 240 hours that you have to be driving. So only the driving hours count towards that. So my recommendation for you was to knock out 10 hours every day consistently, as much as you can. Do not go out there and drive 3 hours and then say, oh, I'm tired, I'm done. Because it is going to take you forever, dog. There was a dude that I spoke to who had been trying to take his 240 for 2 months. You don't want to be that dude, because they will pay you when you're doing your 240, but it's a salary. For me, it was only like $500 a week, which is nothing. That's not going to pay your bills. I mean, that might be quite a bit to some of you guys, but no, not me. And I came out there broke. But that pay also is highly determined on what kind of healthcare you chose. If you chose healthcare, I heard some guys getting as much as like $750 a week. So just keep that in mind. Your trainer, they're going to be teaching you how to check in, how to deal with OS&D, how to fulfill a roadside request, how to interact with the different departments, how to do repowers. During this time, you're also going to have to drive at least 2 qualifying mountains. And if you are scared of those mountains, don't be, dude, because I was. And after I drove them, like, I drove more mountains than I needed, in all reality, because some of them didn't qualify. As long as you are effectively using your lower gears and your jig brakes, combined with occasionally using your service pedal when you need it, your service brake, you're gonna be fine, dude. Just don't, whenever you're starting out, like, just don't haul ass down the mountains and you'll be fine. Just take it easy, take it slow. Your trainer's gonna teach you that, though. You're gonna be learning about different pay structures, like layover pay, detention pay, weather shutdown pay, all of that. Hopefully they're gonna teach you how to effectively find parking, because that's a big thing. My trainer, he would like to drive 10 hours of his 11-hour clock, and then that last hour, use that to start finding parking. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, dude, going out there solo, it was rough a couple of times. Sometimes there's only one truck stop available, and it only has maybe 30 spots in it, and you get there and all the spots are full, and you got to make a spot. And if you can't make a spot, there are options like rest areas, way stations, stuff like that. So just keep that in mind. Remember to stay compliant. So even if your trainer is not doing his pre and post trips, do your pre and post trips, man. And the reason why I say that is you are going to eliminate all of that stress off of your mind of, say you started your day, you didn't do any pre-trip. Well, every time, I guarantee you, every time you pass by a way station or you see a cop with their lights on or something, you're gonna be stressed out, dude. You're gonna be stressed out about, oh, was there something wrong with the truck and I don't know because I didn't check. If you check, then you don't got to worry about that. And once you do it over and over and over and over, you're gonna get really consistent, really efficient at it, and just be able to do it super fast, man. You're gonna learn about how to use your tandems, how to slide them effectively to transfer weight around your truck and your trailer. You're going to learn about how to scale your loads. You're going to learn about a lot of stuff, man. But at the end of the day, just keep it in the back of your mind. Protect your CDL, because that's what you came out here for. That's what you put all this time into it for. Don't let dispatch rush you or anything, or like your trainer or anybody. That's your CDL. If you fuck it up for you, you might have just done all this for nothing, man. So don't do that to yourself. So week 11, you're done with your 240, or at least that's when I finished my 240, right? Results may vary. Grad class for me was 4 days. It took a little longer because some of those classes are staggered. You're going to take another driving test, and you're going to take a backing test. And yeah, just the stuff in class. That's it. That's literally it. Week 12, you should, if you do all of your stuff correctly, by week 11 or week 12, you should be in your own truck as a solo company driver. So, yeah, I hope some of this information helps you guys, and later on I will be making a grad phase video for you guys. Peace.